I I sent you a link in the chat. I don't know if you can still see that or if I have to send it again.
Let me see.
You got it?
Which chat?
The chat on the Zoom.
Oh,
It should send you to
no.
no. All right, here 1 second. Copy. All right, how about that
There we
one?
go. Got it.
Cool. All right, so you should be able to go on there and then up at the top it'll say subscribe.
Okay. Got
Uh,
it.
when you click on that, you'll click literally over the thing that says like the pencil, the real-time simulator. Click on that.
Okay. Click on the pencil.
Yep. And then it'll send you to a like a screen where you get to choose whatever. There's premium elite all books or whatever. You're gonna click on the down arrow on that and go to the $150 monthly one, the deluxe user.
Got it.
And then you can also add in down below, it'll have like a uh the DOS trader for web interface. You can click that and where is the maybe it's on a different one. Uh yeah, you go to PayPal. Can't remember how to because there's a I don't know if you're going to want to um you can replay trades. Like for instance, like say you get busy tomorrow, right? And you want to start simulated trading tomorrow. If if you get busy, you can go back and you can replay trades or like I could send you like a list of 100 stocks. Hey dude, here it goes. Here's 100 stocks. Show me how with my three setups you would trade this and it would allow you to go back and retrade it like it's in real time. And
Yeah.
well, I think it's like
That's probably pretty useful.
yeah, but it's like $15 a month or something like that.
Yeah. So it says there's the deluxe user, and then you go down DOS Trader for web services. There's mobile, and then there's active
Oh,
web.
there you go. Yeah, it is down below. So you can add that. You can add.
It's like 25 bucks a month.
It is. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's the replay, market replay level one. It's $15 a month, but I'm pretty sure like you would do the deluxe user, you'd subscribe to that, and then you go back in. You have to just redo a second one, and
I got you. Yeah.
um, then you would just do the $15 a month. Um, actually, here I'm going to share screen so that anybody that like actually watches this recording can
Yeah. Yeah.
check it out. So you're literally just going to go. I would imagine you're on the same exact thing,
Yep.
the deluxe thing, and then when I click down. The feature is right. Where the fuck did it go? Right, right here. The add-on.
Okay. Yeah. Add on market replay level one.
And so I'm pretty sure you have to subscribe to the $150 and then you'll go back in because they're both going to be linked to your PayPal. And then whenever you're done, um, or you feel confident enough to actually start trading, like you have good stats, which I'm going to show you another go to this and it should be it's going to be free. um Fucking hell, stop sharing. And you can sign up for an account and you'll be able to uh follow behind it, but once you get into DOS, there will be like a trade log that you can download. They'll save it to your computer and then all you do is plug that into trader view and you'll be able to see exactly how much money you would have made on the day, lost on the day. You'll be able to add like certain tags like didn't respect my loss or revenge traded or had FOMO or whatever the hell your emotion is that you're dealing with. And that way, instead of just tracking yourself in your trades, you can also start track or well, I mean, instead of just tracking just your trades, you can start tracking yourself also because at the very beginning, when you first start, it's going to be like looking at a like you're trying to fly to outer space or something. It's going to be a bunch of
Yeah.
candles, volume, EMAs, all the kind of crazy crap. But once you get on that, I can send you a couple of scripts so you can basically have the same exact display that I had. I can send you these hotkeys. There's a hotkey on there that I would definitely recommend using. They call it the ultimate hotkey. And what it does is it allows you to double click on the chart, like say a stock's trading up to $1.50 level, and you want to risk $1.65, but your risk is $100. It'll let you double click, and that way it already programs in where your risk is going to be. And then when you enter the trade, it automatically calculates exactly how many shares you need to use to risk only $100 or $50 or whatever your number is. That way you can adjust the size and
Yeah.
start doing that. That way you can start, that way you have the same risk every single time. Because the shitty thing that, especially what I did at the very beginning, is you just start going in with the same share size, but you don't calculate your risk correctly. Most guys don't even calculate the risk. They just jump in and I'll figure it out as I go. But that gives you an opportunity to really screw yourself over because your emotions get a hold of you or whatever, and then it's easy to take a much bigger loss than you planned on taking. And then, you know, that adds in a whole different layer of shit. So
Yeah.
um, but I don't know if you're going to subscribe like right now. If you are going to subscribe right now and you download DOS, then I can send you like I said, the display things so that your screen will look how I have mine set up, and then you can just kind of plug and play how you do it. How I typically like to do it is the biggest part is the chart that I trade off of. It's gonna be the 1 minute chart. Then I have a smaller one up in the other corner that I prefer when I'm trading to see higher time frames. I start off on the daily, and then I always drop down to like at least a 15 minute, and then once I start having a clear idea of where the big sellers are coming in and like where it's
Hmm.
rejecting, and I can have my levels, then I drop it down to a 5 minute chart. And what I like to see is I want the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute chart to line up, and that way I have like the same kind of levels or at least an idea in my head of a solid place to risk off of. And it just gives me a better idea than if you trade on the 1 minute, you can get faked out a lot. And so I really don't I use the 1 minute for like to time my entries. And I use the 5 minute and 15 and daily for, risk levels and having a clear idea of, all right, dude, this thing's not even gonna, it's not gonna go down anytime soon because if on the 5 minute chart the volume is higher, okay, like I and it doesn't have like any top wicks or anything like that, it's not gonna fall down anytime soon. So, but you kind of gain that with experience. I don't know how much. Yeah,
Yeah, it all looks like rocket science right now, but
yeah. So you already got it.
I just subscribed, so
Okay.
I guess I'll see how I download this.
And then it actually it might take you a second. We might not be able to do it all on here because I think that it's
Okay.
how it does it is that at least how I remember. I signed up for my son, but then he never used it, and so I was like, all right, dude, I'm not gonna just have a paper trading account just for the hell of it, and so I canceled the subscription. But I'm pretty sure it's going to send you a email with your username, and I think it has like a generated password, and then you just gotta change your password. But then once you get on, it's going to be just very chaotic.
Yeah, here I can show you.
Yeah, you
Let's
should be able to
see.
screen share.
Why am I not seeing it? Here we go, share screen. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second. All right, you should be able to now.
All right, here we go. All right, so yeah, I got this email. Um, what
Yeah,
did
so it'll
I?
have it should have like your username. Yeah, you're gonna download the demo to the left, to the top left.
Okay, it's one of these.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the 64 is the one you're supposed to download. I don't know how all that shit works. I just clicked one. My brother was
I
around.
think the top one. Let's see.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure.
All right, so that'll download. Oh, okay. I'm on a Mac, so that might be.
Yeah, but you definitely want to do the top ones because that's going to be the newest release. So if that didn't work on the first one, then try the second one because yeah, there you go.
Oh, why it's trying to. It's wanting to. I'll have to look at parallels. I can run Windows on my Mac, but it's
Well,
not wanting to.
I saw the download thing up at the top right. I don't know if you downloaded it already or not. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, same thing. Um, I'll look into that and see. Maybe. Wait. Okay, so it's Windows only. So yeah, so I'll have to run like my parallels.
Okay.
Um, but anyways, I can run. I'll just have to do a few things.
Okay. But then once you get in there, like I said, it's gonna look like rocket science again. And so if you need help like setting it up, I'm free. I don't have another podcast until 3 o'clock. So I mean, I don't know how long it takes to do whatever the hell you gotta do to do that. But I mean, like I said I'm free. I can cancel this and we just hop on another one here in 2 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll see how long this takes to get going, and then we'll kind of pick up where we left off.
Cool, man. Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
So you want to share your screen and pop it up and I will try to uh file locations.
You gotta enable the sharing.
Ah shit. I always forget. There we go.
Let's try it now. All right, cool. I think okay, so it should be this.
All right. So I'm gonna send you this in the Zoom chat. So if you copy that and you're gonna have to put that into so up at the top left hand corner it'll say file and then you're gonna do open desktop and then
Let me get your Zoom code. Hold on. Why is it? Okay, there we go. Default.dsk.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to I don't know if that'll actually fucking send my you
Can
might
you see my screen?
you might have to be that. No, I just see a like a black.
That's weird. Let me see if I stop, and then we'll try it again.
Yeah, I sent the freaking text uh default.dsk. That's not gonna. Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. So file, and then open file, and then drag that file into the default. It'll override it.
This one here.
No, no, no. When did the file open up? All I see is
Okay, yeah, it opened up the. I don't know why it's not showing you this.
should show you like the file place, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it opened
Yeah,
up.
so
So it's got.
you're gonna drag the default DSK into
Yep.
there. It'll ask you to override it, and then it should
Where are
uh
you dragging the default DSK?
yeah, out of the Zoom meeting link, you're probably gonna have to download it, or out of the Zoom chat, you'll probably have to download that. Then once that downloads, then you're going to open that up into the file location. It's going to have you override it, and then you will make sure you save it so that it applies the changes, and then you'll probably restart DOS, and then it should open up looking exactly the same way that mine did.
Okay,
Make it stupid simple. Hopefully.
let me do this. All right, now you should be able to see everything.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
drag.
so I just downloaded this
Yeah, so drag that
into
into
here.
yeah. It's gonna ask you to override it. Say yes.
Hmm. It's not really doing anything.
It's looks like it's taking a second.
Hmm.
And it's maybe drag it and plop it in like right on top of default. Nothing.
Nothing.
Hmm. Can you open that? Like open file location?
You know what I could probably do is,
Save it into that. Like download it
yeah.
again, but then save it into
Okay, so that's it. Um, or if I just like copy it, if I could paste it into. You see that?
yeah. Yeah, replace the file and the file. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so cool. So then maybe double click and open, I guess. See if this, because it should change your settings. Okay, that's the hotkeys. Yeah. Okay, well, that just went well, it's trying to do my setup. It looks like it went freaking absolutely haywire, but I don't
Yeah.
like I can't really see the whole screen.
Also, I think it's running slow because I'm running this through Parallel, which is like a basically I'm running a virtual Windows machine on my Mac.
Uh,
So, worst case scenario, I may just pick up like a little Windows laptop or something.
okay. Okay, well, it's starting to load in. Okay, so those are the hotkeys. You can find those later. I mean, that'll save us one step because now I won't have to send you my hotkeys either. But obviously change. I guess you don't have to change the share size because um, I mean, if you do like Alt Q or Alt W, you'll just short with 100 shares or 100 shares with Q and 200 shares with W.
Hmm.
Um, do you understand what the bid and the ask is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So like if you short with if you do Alt Q, like when you go through the hotkeys, um,
Hmm.
the bottom one I believe is the bid, and then like if you do Alt one, two, three, four, five, or six, that's gonna be shortened on the ask. Um, Typically, how I'm going to start trying to teach people is you want to short on the ask because if you start shorting on the bid, you're going to be getting on like the lower end, and once you actually start getting into trading, that's going to start costing you commissions. Normally, as long as you trade with over 200 shares, then you can get free commissions if you are trading on the ask, if you're adding liquidity. So that's typically how I try to teach it. Unless you're doing a stuff move, then you have to get filled on the bid, but that's a little bit over the pay grade. But um I don't know if it's like cut off or if like it looks good to you or not, but it should have, I guess it's got two different or three different screens. So I have a 60-minute, which shows me like the higher time frame, obviously, the 5 minute, which like once I'm in a position, honestly, I pretty much just stop watching the 1 minute. I just focus on the 5 minute because it helps with my anxiety and all that kind of shit. So, and then the montage, you just have to click the montage to change whatever ticker you're looking at. So, um, but I mean, like realistically, that's pretty much all you need to do, and then start going into my classroom and watching the setups and what you can start doing. I'm pretty much just doing this with my mentor and students, but like really, I mean, I don't have that many people in the room right now. So like if you start trading and just take a screenshot of your screen and send me like a message and tell me what setup do you think this is and why did you take it? Um what was your risk? What were your targets? All that kind of stuff because that should have it all set up. Um I can't remember what color my I had the EMAs on there, but I'm pretty sure it was the red ones. There should be like two red ones. Those will be the first targets. Those are the 1 minute J lines. Then there's a yellow one, and I believe I had a purple one on there too, and then a gray dotted arrow. And those will be your targets. When you start going through the classroom and you start watching the videos, that's going to start, helping you out a lot more. When you look at that, there's two different times and cells, or at least there should be. Do you see that? Off to the right, the very far right, there should be two things that says times and cells.
Let's see. I'm looking on different monitors because I don't know why. Here we go. I'm probably gonna end up getting a Windows machine because on Mac this is just fucking
Crazy.
yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy. Oh wait, no, never mind, never mind. I was about to lie to you. My buddy was setting up Thinkorswim. He didn't do DOS yet, so that's gonna kind of suck for him because
So DOS is just to I guess be able to
that's your
paper trade.
broker. That's well, yeah. The one that you have is for paper trading, but when you go with certain brokers, that's a platform that you can use that really DOS is, in my personal opinion, that's the best platform that you can trade on. Um, you can really customize it a lot, and there's different hotkeys so that you can make sure you get in and you're risking a certain amount of like you can literally plug in how much dollar risk you want and it'll automatically calculate how many shares to get in with. And once you enter your hotkey, then it'll automatically calculate it. And I don't know of any other platform that allows that. Like right now, I'm using Trade Zero,
Mm.
and that's straight shit. They suck. So if if you can get a DOS platform, then that's awesome. The only problem with DOS is to get with that, you generally have to be with like a big broker, which means you have to have $25,000 sitting in an account, and then you trade with whatever you have over $25,000. So that's the only like downfall of it. But as far as platforms go, DOS is the best thing. America has got this stupid ass rule saying that you have to have 25 grand to be able to day trade. And so uh you know when I liquidated my big boy account, I lost DOS, and so now I'm back with you know luckily nobody that I'm not going to be sharing all this information with anybody else, but I'm trading with my wife's social security, and I opened up a international trading account. So I found a little loophole so I can open up a smaller account, but with them it sucks because the commissions are super shitty and the platform sucks ass. So
What's that? You mentioned Thinkorswim. I've heard of that.
Thinkorswim is a company that just got acquired by Charles Schwab, and that's the best. That's one of the best chart as far as like charting goes. It has the best charting, in my personal opinion. But as far as functioning for trading, DOS is the best, hands down. And so if you have enough money to be able to afford to fund say like a 27 or $30,000 account, I would highly recommend going with Cobra. And they use either Sterling, which is basically like a upgraded version of DOS, or they have DOS. And that is what I am going to be striving towards in the next like 3 or 4 months, is getting my smaller Trade Zero account up to refunding my Cobra account. So, but as far as paper trading, these are by far the best because you can pay that $15 to where you can start going back and retrading stuff, and it will literally flash you back in time to whatever day you're on, whatever ticker, and then you can literally trade like it was that actual day. And so it's really, really good for beginners because you can get a ton of screen time in a very, very short. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so yeah, like I have you don't technically have to have it set up exactly like that, but I like to have the daily so I can see my daily levels. I have the hourly and the 5 minute, and then the 1 minute I just use for my entries and being able to watch everything. The two things down at the bottom right, those are two times and sales. One of them should be where every single order goes through. So it's going to look like a freaking machine gun is going off. You're going to see red, green, white. White means they got filled in between the bid and the ask. Uh, Green's going to be getting filled on the ask, and red is going to be on the bid. But then the next one over is going to be just big orders. And so once you start getting used to just watching this, what I would recommend is getting to the desk around 9 o'clock if you can, and just start looking up whatever stocks people are looking at, and start getting used to watching them and start figuring out like, okay, would this be gap and crap. If it's a gap and crap, how does Adam teach how to trade a gap and crap? If it's going to be a gap and well, for you being a beginner, only worry about gap and crap. Don't worry about pop and fill up pre-market high or gap and extension. Only be watching gap and craps and start getting used to going through making a routine for yourself. And right now, since you're doing it for free, the thing to do would be there's a site that you can get onto that I would bookmark. It's called thinviz.com. And then you can get in on this thing and you can they'll show you like the stocks that are like the top gainers, new high, unusual volume. It'll show you the prices that they're at, the percent change, and then you can click on there and it'll show you like the stats. And you can start figuring out, okay, what what stocks should I be looking at? Should I be looking at if this thing only has 2 million float, should I be looking at that? And then start figuring out how to actually trade and following my lessons and the stuff that I'm putting on school to start learning how to trade because like you said earlier, it's like looking like you're looking at like a spaceship controls. So
Yeah.
until you understand what you're looking at and how to read this stuff, there's absolutely no reason you should ever be putting real money on a trade. And so this is the best way that you should be learning how to do it. Um, you kind of jumped step one and went straight to step two. Step one is really a think or swim and just watch and start getting used to identifying whether it's a gap and crap, it's setting up for a gap and extension, learning how to identify a good trade, all that kind of stuff. And then, start going from there and then using the website that I gave you earlier, TraderView, to log your trades. Like if you go up to trade, the top left trade, there should be a thing that says like trade log, I believe. Yeah, trade
Yep.
log. You'll click that. It'll open up a window and then you'll right click the events
Yeah.
and then it'll pop up a thing and then you can save your trade log. And then when you get on trader view, all you do is you just plug in your trade log. It'll automatically plug in, okay, what's your win percentage? How big's your biggest winner, your biggest loser? Um, all that kind of stuff. Like what days do you trade the best on? What time of the day do you trade the best on? And then you can start tracking your stats. And then yeah, we just start you off from ground zero, and you start learning how to do all this shit. And then after you start doing good, and you have good stats for a month or two, then you can start doing things. If you don't have enough money to put $25,000 into an account, then you have to start with a an account that's under PDT rule, which means you get 3 trades in a 5-day period. And so it makes it more difficult, but you can still absolutely make those trades. You just have to be very, very, very selective, which is going to be very difficult for a beginner trader because your discipline is going to be pretty much
Now,
absolute
how much do
zero.
you, so for example, you got 25 in there, 25 just gets you over
Over
the,
PDT. Then
yeah.
you only trade with what's over the $25,000.
So how
So
much do you recommend people, putting in to trade, I don't know how much people are risking.
so for me personally, I would get the idea that you're gonna start making money out of your head for a while, and because when you start trading, how much you funded with doesn't really matter, but like what I would recommend is probably $30,000. Is
Yeah.
$5,000 over is gonna be perfect. I would risk I don't know, like $50 per trade. And then whenever you get to that point, I'll start teaching you how to set up the hotkeys. And that way you make sure that every single time you take a trade, you risk $50. That's it. Okay, you fucking lost $50. Who gives a shit? You're not gonna go kill yourself over 50 bucks. But when you have people that are beginner traders that just go balls in and have, they're trading with 1,000 or 2,000 shares, it doesn't have to make a big move to you for you to lose a decent amount of money. And so I feel like you doing it this way will be very good. And say you can fund it with $30,000. Cool. Maybe you don't make very much money. I just got off of a podcast with a guy that he is probably a very, very rare person. He went full time right out the gates. And that, like, how much, 1 second. Just I'm not trying to give you like FOMO or anything. I
There
want
you
you to
go.
know that this is absolutely uh realistic to make. But my buddy, he just made, how much did he make? He made $78,874 in March, just
Hmm.
March. And he, you know, no, he just made this last month. My bad. Oh wait, no, yeah, that is correct. That was an older post. Yeah, he made $78,000 in 1 month. This guy went full time. The difference was he understood the financial markets, and it's really funny because when I started telling him how I teach people how to trade, he's like, "Dude, honestly, that's the best advice ever. I'm telling you right now, if you guys really really dive into these programs, I'm literally giving you guys like the fucking blueprint, to where you guys can start essentially just printing fucking money because most of these rooms, they have all sorts of bullshit and they don't teach you correctly. When I talk to him, he also agrees that you have a ceiling, you have a floor. You don't want to trade any of this middle bullshit because you're not going to make any fucking money. If you're,
You want to
I
be
don't,
at the floor or the ceiling.
yeah, exactly. You're going to essentially be a short seller because in small caps, that's how you make money. Most of these companies gap up. They have already sold a bunch of shares. They offered a bunch of shares to a big company that is all they're trying to do is hype this thing up on news and unload a bunch of shares so that they make money. That's how 90% of these small caps work. Once you understand the game of small caps, then it makes it very easy. That does not mean that there isn't outliers that is going to rip your fucking face off. But if you start trading in no man's land, that's where dumb money is. You don't want to trade in no man's land. And a lot of these rooms I've been in 5 or 6 different rooms, and they teach setups where you trade in the middle, and it's fucking retarded. You don't want to trade in the middle. You want to trade at the top and look to cover towards the bottom. It's literally that simple. But people overcomplicate things with fancy shit, like a million different things. That's why I'm telling you to only focus on gap and crap. Gap and crap in pre-market, which means from 4 o'clock in the morning until 9:30 in the morning, it finds its ceiling. It shows you the level that it's going to respect. What you want the stock to go down into no man's land. Then what you want it to do at 9:30 after open, you want it to pop back up towards the high, but then you want to see it rejecting towards the high. That's all you want to fucking do. You make sure that the volume is not going crazy. It doesn't have a crazy high float. And then all you do is you take a short and you're risking pre-market high. If you do that correctly and you only risk $50, then you either lose 50 bucks or in theory you should be making 100 to $150 a day. How my buddy does it, he does it a little bit differently than me. He takes one trade and he holds the fucking thing all day, which for me, I don't think that's a very good idea for beginner traders because it's going to cause way too much emotional swings. And so for me, how I teach it is the first target, you take off half the position. Yeah, that means you're not going to make dick at the very beginning. I understand that. The idea is not to make money. The idea is to get you guys to follow a process because the second you can start doing that, you do that good for a month, You might trade really good for a month and still lose money. That's perfect for me. That's awesome. That's what you want. Is you lose a little bit of money. That means you did really fucking good because next month when you double your size and you start trading a little bit bigger instead of risking $50, now you're risking $100 per trade. You can start making okay, yeah, you're not going to make $1,000, but you can start making 150, 200, $300 a day. I mean, shit, you start doing that consistently, dude. That shit adds up really quick. But then, like I said, if you follow the process, you add size again, maybe the next month. It really depends on how well you can control your emotions and how well you follow the process. And that really determines like this dude, like honestly, me and him went full time at the same time. The difference is he fucking crushed it. Me, I added way too much stress to my life. And yeah, I survived for like 8 months, but like the key word there is survived. I
Yeah.
survived. This motherfucker crushed it. Why? Because he had a life balance and he understood his emotions a lot better because he wasn't a kickboxing machine that, had no emotions and didn't feel shit. Like I had a lot of baggage that I had to unravel because I had to dive into who I was as a person. And, you know, but now that I've been back in Kentucky, things have really started clicking. I'm starting to find that comfort zone. And now I'm like, okay, now I have to do everything completely different because I went from having a giant account to now I have a really small account. And I have to build that back up. But
It'd be cool to
yeah,
document it though.
yeah, well that's actually exactly what I plan on doing. I plan on documenting it because I want to I want to start throwing that out there on YouTube and that I feel like that'd be fucking badass. And so,
Yeah, I mean that's
anyways,
what you want to see when you're looking for, somebody. Because here's the thing, like I I have seen, just like on ads, you've seen like it's always been a thing, right? Like a bunch of ads like, oh, I can, join my, group or join this mentorship or whatever. And man, it seems like, if I was, gonna, I don't know, say scam people, but if I was gonna do something like that, I mean, it looks like what a lot of these guys are doing is they've got a huge following, and maybe I'm wrong, but like maybe they get in, they buy a stock, well, then they promote it, and everybody else buys it, and then they're
dude,
selling it as you're buying it.
it's go back. I made a short a week ago. I think I released it, and I called out my first mentor. He started doing that shit, and then when I started diving into stuff. I'm a very I analyze the fuck out of everything and everybody,
Yeah,
and he would slip up in the webinars, and he started talking about this short selling stuff. Well, I'm in a room with like 500 people, and the second I heard the word short seller, I was like, "What the fuck is it? What's he talking about, short seller?" So I went and Googled it because I'm a curious person. I start reading this. That's when I found out that you can make money when the stock goes down. And
yeah,
he fucked up and he's like, "Oh, like honestly, I'm like 90% short seller." I was like, if you're a 90% short seller, then why don't you teach your
yeah.
students,
Why are you teaching? Yeah,
yeah, like to short sell? And then when I started diving into all this stuff more, I was like, I called him out in front of the whole room and he kicked me out of the fucking room. I had a lifetime membership and everything. And
really.
he banned me from the room. I was just like, dude, fuck you, man. And because I called him out, and everyone's like, what the
Yeah.
like they had no idea what the hell a short seller was. And then I found a new mentor, and then I started piecing myself through. But anyways, uh,
Now
a
I
lot,
want to learn how to
a
do
lot of
it,
them.
because it's one thing to follow. Like I don't know. I guess you're using that. Was it FinViz or whatever? I don't know what it was called, but
I, I
is
use
that what
I
you're?
use I use Edge to trade. I don't I FinViz is what I use at the very beginning. Edge to trade, it's a subscription, so I'm not here to try to like sell you guys on using products and shit and all that
But
kind of
that's a
stuff.
scanner that you. That's kind of
It
where you
it
like in the
it it,
morning you would look
it
at that.
is here. I'll one second. I'll show you.
'Cause that's why I was curious. Like, how are people? I'm sure all
Yes,
these people are probably looking at similar stocks.
they are. The problem is like 90% of
How are
these
they
people
finding
don't,
them?
don't know they don't know what the fuck they're even looking at. And
Yeah.
so this, like, I literally just made a video earlier today. I was reviewing this in the meeting earlier. or this weekend, and
Hmm.
they were asking me if oh what the fuck, how do I clear this? They were asking me if I would trade the stock. And for me, I would not trade this stock. Why would I not trade this stock? Because yeah, it's got good float. It's got a million float. I like that. Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't like the short float. What the short float means is that there's a lot of people like hedge funds, big money that are short in the stock. Do you remember GameStop? The whole shit
Oh
about
yeah. Yeah.
GameStop?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what happened is these guys, like what you said, they really fucked over a hedge fund because they got all these guys to start buying a piece of shit stock, and these guys had really shitty risk management and just got fucking ripped. Well, if you're a short seller, you're selling high. What you're trying to do is you're buying low and you make the difference. But if you're short and the stock keeps going against you, when you buy, it's like adding like rocket fuel to a fucking fire. It's just gonna, especially if you got a big size. If you can squeeze out short sellers, that means that the stock can go skyrocketing. So if I see a high short float, that's a huge signal for me to stay the fuck away from it. Especially if this had a lower float, this would be a lot easier to move. And if it's easier to move, it's easier to squeeze, which is what they call that is when you squeeze shorts out of a position, it makes the stock shoot up. Another thing I don't like is institutional ownership. That means
Yeah.
that 43% of this 99 million float is owned by institutional ownership, which is probably short, but still,
Yeah.
I still don't like that. And so there was a couple other ones like I think it's DRMA is another one. Uh Once again, once you start learning this kind of stuff, this is a clear indication. Yeah, this gapped up. Yes, you could have traded this, but would I trade this? Fuck no. Why? It doesn't even have a million shares float. If it, that means that there's literally 600,000 shares of the stock, and this thing was trading at $2.50. To me and you, that might sound like a lot of money, but I mean, all you need is some fucking rich dickhead that wants to fuck around with people to come
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
buy this up, and some rich dude that doesn't give a shit. Who cares if he loses, 40, $50,000? He's gonna fuck with you. And they could absolutely just all it takes is one person to ruin your day. And so for me,
Yeah.
I don't mess with anything that is under 5 million shares. And that's just one of my rules. I don't deal with anything that has higher than 30% institutional ownership. And then another thing you can look at is over here, it shows day one and day two. Day one
Hmm.
means what's the gap stats on its day one. Well, this has five gaps that it's recorded in the last, I think I have like 90 days or 180 days or whatever the hell it is. It's got five gaps that is closed five times under the open. What that means to me is that if it opens at $2.50, it's pretty high odds that that thing is going to close below $2.50. Does that mean that I short right at the open? No, some dumbasses do that. But what that tells me is this has a very good chance of if this goes from $2.50 up to say $3, okay, I'm interested. Why? Because that means that I have a very, very high possibility of making that 50 cents back. Okay, well
Yeah.
if you have 1,000 shares and you short it at $3 and it does stuff and it starts falling down, I'm willing to hold that. I'll hold the whole fucking thing. Because if that gets down to $2.50, I just made $500. That's pretty fucking easy payday. And once you start learning how to do this, really, God's honest truth, I'm not trying to like sell you anything or do anything fucking stupid, but like I literally when I first started making money, actually I'm pretty sure you and I were doing pad sessions. I was telling you, I was like,
Yeah.
I literally went from making like $100 to over $1,000 like that. It was the difference of a month. And because I was being taught wrong, in my personal opinion, and I sized up way the fuck too fast. But you can absolutely do that. And my friend that I just got off the podcast with, this guy crushed it, man. Like he is making a ungodly. Well, I mean, I guess it sounds like he's an overnight success, but at the same time, I also have to remember that he was in mentoring program 5 years ago, and so I mean, it took him 5 years to start capitalizing and making $80,000 a month. But I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm
Yeah, I mean, hell yeah. So that's something that that's what I was wondering. Like, eventually, I guess you can do that consistently.
Dude, you can like he was just talking. I'm telling you, the podcast is not going to be out until next week. I'm like pleading to everybody in the fucking room, dude, watch this shit because this motherfucker and dude, I know the guys he's talking about too because I've seen them talking back and forth and stuff, and I in the back of my head I'm like, I bet they fucking talk to each other. He just let me know that he's in like a Discord room with those motherfuckers. This guy he made $175,000 like last Tuesday. The next day he made $175,000 again, and then I think it's on Friday he made $150,000. So yes,
In a day.
you can absolutely consistently do that. Like I'm telling you though, that dude, I don't know his actual name. I don't know anything about him. I'm gonna try to get him on the podcast though. But yeah, dude, you can absolutely do that. But to do that, you have to have the right kind of stock. You don't
Yeah.
trade. That's the biggest problem. And he actually agreed with me, which made me feel good because I've gotten into a lot of different fights with people on the internet about this because I have a very controversial opinion that I feel like Discord rooms are the worst fucking thing that ever happened to trading because it literally turns beginner traders into fucking crackheads. And the reason that I really believe that school is the best platform ever for trading is because I'm not giving you guys an opportunity. I'm not going to give you guys a Discord room at all. I'm not. I don't give a fuck how much money I can make off of it. I don't. I literally don't give a fuck because for me, I am going to absolutely keep this for free, 100% free in the community where they can have a meetup every Saturday. But then once people are like what we were just talking about, your process, right? Right now you're paper trading, you're simulated trading. Once you pass from simulated trading, we get you into actual a funded account. Okay, then maybe it's worth it to actually pay for like the subscription to come to like the Tuesday and Thursday one that I'm going to start doing with like my mentoring students. But or maybe like you can still really I'm going to give you everything that you can absolutely make $5,000 a month. I guarantee if you follow the plan 100%, I guarantee fucking that you can make $5,000 a month easy, easy. But the problem is, it's not pushing the button that is the job of trading. It is backtracking. How well do the setups work? How well do you handle your emotions? How well like is your life in balance, or are you stressed about shit? Like there's so much stuff that goes into trading that nobody fucking talks about, and everyone just joins these Discord rooms, and you have these guys that are like, "Oh, I went short here. I'm risking 3 cents," and by the time people jump in and listen to him, dude, there's a delay. It might have been a delay of
Yeah.
10, 15 seconds, but dude, when you have a lot of experience, all you fucking need is a delay of 10, 15 seconds, and that setup dude, when you start learning how to read these charts and these candlesticks, dude, it can be the difference between 10 and 15 seconds is the difference between a winning trade and a losing trade, literally. And these beginners, dude, they're not learning how to trade. They're just being sheep. They're literally just on subscription, getting paid. They're paying a guy to follow his alerts. But
Yeah.
to actually learn how to trade, I really feel like school is the best thing ever because I've already laid out everything you guys need to start making money for free. Then on top of that, like when you start actually using money uh to trade, then I'm opening up my Tuesdays and Thursdays where, like I said, you need to backtrack your trades. That's gonna hold you accountable to where, okay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we all get together. Hey dude, what did you guys all trade today? Why did you trade? That was the meeting on Saturday. There's four stocks that they're like, hey, what do you think about all of these? It literally took me 3 minutes. I was like, fuck all four of these stocks. Why did you guys trade this shit? There's literally no reason to trade these things because for me, there's no meat on the stock. So how much money are you gonna fucking make? You're not gonna make any money. What is your time worth to you? My time, yeah, I have a full-time job. I get paid, X amount of money, but that's not what I value my time. I don't actually do the job. Like I'm trading stocks, I'm coaching people while I'm at a full-time job. Like I actually do that job like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours a day, and I get paid for 9 hours. So for me, that that's absolutely fucking worth it to have that job. But as far as trading goes, dude, like I'm not gonna trade for $50 an hour. I'm not gonna babysit something for $50 an hour. It's not worth my time because I've been able to make $1,000 in an hour. So why the
Yeah.
fuck would I go from $1,000 an hour to $50 an hour? I'm not gonna fucking do that. And so you have to change your mindset. And like when you start getting into bigger size and making good money, it really makes you a lot more selective because you can't trade stocks like this because if you get in with like 2 to 5,000 shares, dude, that thing skips up on you 10, 15, 20 cents. Dude, that's a big fucking loss.
Yeah.
And yeah, like everyone only thinks about how much money, like you just said, like, can you consistently make that kind of money? You absolutely can. At the same time, if the market shifts and you don't adapt quick enough, you can absolutely consistently lose that kind of money also. And so that's the biggest thing is taking the time and having realistic timeline of how to do this. Like, for instance, you, right? You're starting out with simulator. Awesome. I would absolutely love to see where you are in a year from now. And really that with the guys that I'm working in my mentoring program, I'm doing a year-long program with them for free. They're beta clients because I want to get them all profitable, make it like I have one of the guys, he's not consistent right now, but he's making almost $5,000 a month. And so for me, I'm like, he's already where I already promised everybody to get them. And so for me, now the whole thing is just getting him to be consistent with it. That's the big thing. It's not hard to make money in the stock market. It's hard to keep the money. And that's where like the mindset and the whole lifestyle behind it is where everything you either make it or break it. And so I really want to keep this group small and that's why I want to have the free community because for me, the free community is going to weed out all the bullshit because people that get stuff for free, they don't give a fuck. And that's the honest truth about it. I have to charge money because, well, A, I want to fucking make money so I can live off of it. But at the same time, really, if I don't charge money, nobody's gonna give a shit at all. The only time you have
Yeah.
to
Well,
figure out something is when you have skin in the game. And so it's like the same thing as you. Like right now, simulated trading is gonna be good. What's gonna be funny is in a month, maybe 2 months, when you just don't give a shit because you don't have any skin in the game. The second you go to actual trading for actual money, even though you're trading with, like I said at the very beginning, I want you to trade with 100 shares. So literally, that's it, 100 shares. And okay, you start doing that, even though it's only 100 shares, your emotions start kicking in. Then that's where the real fun begins because it's like, okay, well, what emotions did you have? What who is Trey? Like what demons do you gotta deal with? Everybody's got shit they gotta deal with, and so that's where the fun start begins. But You don't actually get
Yeah.
that until you have skin in the game, kind of thing. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, that's basically it. I would just use Finviz. It's fucking free. Go back and watch the classroom. I'm gonna start putting out a lot more like actual lessons and going over, like my walkthrough, how to use you know, the charts and all that kind of stuff, and like how to identify the setups and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll just start plugging in and figuring things out. If you take a trade and you take a screenshot and you want to send it to me, just send it to me on school, and I
Okay.
can start showing you, well, really what you did wrong and explain to you, so that way you start understanding how to actually trade, and then we'll just piece it together and go from
Yeah.
there.
That's what I'll do. And then this DOS trader, I need to go. I'll go back and add that historic. Was it like historical data or something? I'll go add that.
Yeah,
But
it allows a replay mode. I believe it's under like file, and it'll there's a thing that's called data stream, and you click on that, and then you have to switch it from live to replay. And
I
then the
see
second you
data
do
stream mode.
you apply that, and it'll allow you to go back in time. Then all you have to do is plug in the ticker and the day that you want, and it'll download the data from that ticker, and then you click play, and all of a sudden, boom, it pops out that day, and then you can retrade it like it's live. You can
Okay. And
fast forward and all that
I'll
kind of
probably
stuff.
go on like YouTube or I'll find something to get more familiar with this DOS because I guess this will be like live when I look at it tomorrow.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
see. Okay.
it's gonna be live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos. I also did I'm pretty sure I did some videos in the classroom. I think it's under was it
Because
start?
this has what VPRX, I guess is what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, that's the ticker. So you see the montage? You should be at the like the bottom right.
Yeah.
You click on that and you can type in anything like TSLA and it'll pop up Tesla.
Okay. Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, cool.
Okay, and that's how you'll change all that kind of stuff. And then I have it linked all together, so the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the hourly, and the daily should all change together, and they're all linked to the times and cells also. But I have a video on setting up DOS, and it's like 5 minutes long. I don't remember exactly what I have in there, but
I'll
yeah.
check that out. Okay, sweet.
And like I said, dude, if you have any questions, just shoot me a text.
I
So,
will.
all right, man. Well, you have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.
You too. Hey, and also if you want to chat about growing the community part of it, I'll throw out some ideas.
Dude, like honestly, I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, and Alex had some ideas that he thought that would add value to the community. Dude, all day, every day. You fucking have an idea,
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. Just shoot me a text, shoot me a message, whatever. Because really,
I'll do it.
as far as I'm concerned, this is my fucking baby. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Like honestly, even trading is taking like a backseat to this, because this is my baby. Because
yeah.
really, like my ideal world. Actually, here,